All right, my friends, welcome to episode 387 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games. Over there's Anthony Dev at Summer Speak. This week, Bobby Kotick said some really stupid shit, and Variety let him say it. I recorded a 25-minute podcast where I ranted about it. When I was done, I realized he doesn't deserve that much time of my life, and I'm not going to publish this shit.
Pretty much.
Suffice to say, the guy's a fucking moron.
He is a fucking moron. He really just wants his money more than anything.
He does. He definitely does.
Which I'm like, I don't know why. You have enough already. It's not like you need more.
Well,
like,
didn't they just? We just got a thing in our Discord today about some fucking World of Warcraft writer who got fired for fucking lampooning corporate greed in fucking WoW texts in game. It's like, oh my god, it's just really. We want to sell now. We're in a bind because we have to pay workers a lot. Like, get the fuck out of here. And being a member of SAG-AFTRA does not give you union cred. Get the fuck out of here. You don't use your union for your job. Fuck off, dude.
Oh, that's right, because he was in movies.
Yep, he was in Moneyball. I think he had like a fucking.
Yeah. No, he was actually in Moneyball. He had lines and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he had a. It wasn't. It was more than an extra, not a full supporting role, but he was featured pretty heavily in that in a couple places.
That's his union cred. If he doesn't understand that you need, like, to be in a union, you need to rely on that union for your working conditions, and that's not your job. You're not an actor.
No.
And following the rules, you're getting hammered, Activision Blizzard, for not following the rules. So fuck off. Anyway, yeah. I'm not gonna talk anymore about that fucking.
Fuck him.
Yep.
Fuck him.
So Zelda has been going on, but we're gonna talk about that at the back half of the show. SGF is coming up. We're going to talk about that. And then the Sony showcase happened a couple weeks ago. We haven't recorded since then.
Meh.
It was...
Meh.
Yeah, it was meh. It showed me this isn't the Sony that I know. I don't need live service, 60% of your budget being spent on live service. That's not what I'm here for. I'm glad I got a Switch.
Yeah. That's not all Sony's doing. But that's just what they have to show right now.
Yeah, I think there's no... Yeah, exactly. The major studios weren't shown there, not because they fell off the face of the earth, because, yeah, they're not ready to show the shit.
They're just working now.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be... I thought about that. I'm like, it's going to be a while before Guerrilla shows anything again. Like, they clearly have Horizon 3 to do.
Oh, yeah.
Based on how 2 ended. But, I mean, we're probably at minimum, I would still say... Let's say everything was going well for them, they might tease it next year, maybe.
If
not 2 years.
I think 3's,
before we see anything.
No, I'm looking at Sucker Punch. Like, where's Ghost?
Yeah, I actually could see Ghost teased like next year, probably, if they're doing a Ghost 2 or something else in that series. Those games do take a while to make. Yeah. So, and that it's interesting and a lot of that stuff because this is now the first time I think all those studios are just making stuff for PS5 now.
Yeah, they're dropped for PS4 completely.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's for PS5.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Horizon DLC was PS5 only.
Possibly, I think so. I don't think you're wrong. I'd have to look it up. The only other game in there that, like, this is gonna sound crazy. I don't know if I'll even play it. I have a nostalgia spot for it, is Marathon.
I was gonna say, you're going to say Marathon, aren't you?
I couldn't believe Bungie is doing... The current Bungie is resurrecting that game. I mean, it's seminal multiplayer FPS from back in, like 93, 94.
Right.
It was contemporaries with Doom, when Doom was originally coming out.
I feel like Sony looked around and said, we need live service. What do you got? Like, well, we could
No, this has been worked on at Bungie for a long time.
Marathon?
Because my friend, who was like, he's like, I congratulate him when they announced it. He's like, yeah, this is what I've been working on for the past 4 years that I couldn't talk about.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
This is not new. This predates Sony coming in.
Exactly.
Like, this is what Bungie has been wanting to do.
That's cool.
It's just...
For me,
it's taken a long time.
From my perspective, at least those new, the first party or whatever, those type of games, that's the only one that looked promising. So.
Yeah, the art style's
amazing. Bungie knows fucking art, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be a game I want to play, but I appreciate the art and the musical choice, just the aesthetic,
Yep.
overall tone. I'm like, yeah, this is killer.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, like, we're weeks out, and I'm like, dude, do I remember anything else other than that? And Spider-Man. There's a Final Fantasy 16 trailer. That's cool. Always happy to see those. But
It felt a little weird. The Final Fantasy and I think Street Fighter 6 both felt like commercials. I know they're all commercials.
they
But those
are.
ones felt
Well,
like just
those are
like,
coming out, like,
right. I mean, Street Fighter 6 is already
6 is
out.
out,
Yeah.
and then we're 18 days. Yeah, 18 days from Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty just kind of meh. We'll see if any of these... I've seen some industry rumors pointing to Sony is going to book in this later with some other stuff. But I don't know if that's true or not, but it's from at least some credible sources that I was seeing. So it was either that or they're just getting this up out front so people will just forget about this right now and go about their day.
Yeah.
Spider-Man did look pretty cool, though.
Spider-Man looked really, really good. I guess it's probably still true that Venom is a character in the game.
I assume. Well, I mean later. I mean the whole, like, they're doing the symbiote suit for Peter. At some point, you can already tell it's making Peter angry and not great person.
Yeah.
So at some point, they're just gonna follow. I don't think they're gonna go subvert expectations on the Venom symbiote storyline of being like, okay, it's gonna be on him, he'll get it off, but it's gonna then go find Eddie Brock and become Venom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And be
Yeah.
pissy at Peter.
Yeah.
But I assume that that's another chunk of the game, like the back half potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Somebody was complaining about like having seen too much, and I think it was Peter Parker's voice actor was like, you haven't seen. Oh, Yuri Lowenthal, I think, was like, you haven't seen anything yet.
No, I expect most of what we saw would probably be within the first like few hours of the game.
Yeah. It looked really good. It looked really good. I thought there were a bunch of good indie games, but I struggle to remember what they are right now because all the talk has been about the Sony stuff that wasn't there. So.
Yeah.
But whatever. SGF's coming up. Do you think we're gonna see some big stuff Thursday with Jeff's thing?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. I think there'll be. I don't know exactly what, but I think that's a place, and he's. I don't know. Stuff has been building for a while, so I'm expecting that.
I'm holding out hope for our fantasy critic. Like that's when I'm gonna hear that Elden Ring DLC comes out this year, or I drop it, because it's holding this pace.
That's true. I mean, that's the thing. I guess if it's not announced, it's probably not this year.
Yeah, I would say so. If it's not announced here, it's not coming out. They're not going to shadow drop it in November or whatever.
Yeah.
And Armored Core is coming out, so I really don't think they're going to talk about it anyways.
Yeah. I think there's been starting to be there's a Twitter feed for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth started, and they're answering questions like daily now, officially on this like official Twitter thread.
Interesting.
But I think they did open that. I'm like, I feel like there's going to be a trailer at SGF for Rebirth.
Wow, even before 16 comes out.
Potentially.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're starting that train now, at least a little bit. I might have to drop that one. I don't know. Because the first thing was like, do you have a release date? And they're like, no, how's development going? And development's going fine. We're in the process of locking down a release date.
Yeah, I saw that. That means yeah.
I'm like, well, you originally said this year. Is it going to happen?
Yeah, they said really? Winter 20. They said winter, right? Which could be.
No, they gave.
I thought it was winter.
Wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe it would be into next year. I thought it was.
That's what I remember it being like the end of this year, beginning of next year. But if they're talking about locking down a release date now, possibility. I mean, wow, having two huge Final Fantasy games in 1 year.
Yeah.
That'd be. It'd be in the same fiscal year for them. Oh no. This is the end of their fiscal year, I think, right? End of June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I mean, Final Fantasy. God, 16, right? Final Fantasy 16 looks massive.
Yes, it does. We'll get a demo of that in a week, I think.
Yeah, they said 2 weeks before launch, so that should be soonish.
Yeah, and there's a big launch event on the 11th in LA.
Oh, nice.
Like a big party that they're going to stream and stuff, and I have a feeling that's when the demo's going to drop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which fits. It's 2 weeks before release. So, yeah. That's there. Kojima something, maybe?
Death Stranding 2, right?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more on that.
Or his Xbox thing. I guess this is console agnostic.
Yeah.
So. Although I think that would be safe for Xbox's thing next week. Or, God, fuck, is it this week? When the fuck is that?
Oh, let me check.
We're
Actually,
coming up
you're
at
right.
it, right?
Yeah, we really are. This week has a chunk of stuff.
June 11th. June 11th.
Sunday.
Oh, damn, a week from now. Shit. We have a lot to talk about then. Just in general, things we think we're going to see at these fucking showcases.
Yeah.
You know?
So this week, starting on the 7th, we have Tribeca Festival, and then the Guerrilla Collective, which will be small indie stuff on both of those, but there could be cool things coming out of there. That one's
sponsored by Sony this time, or PlayStation, I mean. So.
Potential, yeah. 8th is Summer Game Fest. 9th and 10th is the Days of Play.
Oh, right. Like the Judges Week kind of thing.
Yeah. The 10th is the Future Game Show. The 11th is the Xbox Direct and the Starfield Direct.
Right.
And the PC Gaming Show. And the Final Fantasy 16 pre-launch celebration.
So crazy.
And the 12th is Ubisoft Forward.
Right.
And the 13th is Xbox Games Showcase Extended.
Oh, yeah. I like that they do that, like deep dive into stuff.
So it's basically starting now for the next week and a half.
This is the time, man.
There's just stuff.
That's exciting.
When E3 should be happening, is happening, but no one's going to it. They're just doing this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from my vantage, I'm still getting a lot of stuff I would get normally, except for there's no Nintendo Direct. Although,
at least not announced.
Exactly, not announced. Although, they didn't. That fucking tweet they put out. Here's everyone 1-2 Switch is coming out. Bye.
Yeah.
They're just like, you read that story last year where the playtesters were like, this is awful.
Yeah.
They're putting out the Die After Tears of the Kingdom. No one's gonna even notice.
Yeah. Just like, just get that one out. Not draw too much attention to it.
Exactly.
Move on.
Here's one tepid tweet.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a busy week.
Good stuff. You think...
Exciting though. I am hoping that Xbox. We'll talk about it next week. They got to come with something. And that Starfield Direct got to prove that Starfield is a good game.
Yeah. I just hope Xbox, after the Sony thing, just says, you want first person narrative games? Here they are. Like, I feel like they could win some mind share there.
They just can't pull those out of their ass, though.
Exactly. So, well, they can't, but they have a bunch that they have kind of pre-announced, Fable and Avowed and whatever else. Like, maybe they're ready. Although I heard someone this week had talked about how Fable is like years away still.
Yeah, and Avowed got canned and rebooted, so who knows?
Oh God, did it?
Where it's that's what all the stuff internally I've heard is saying that they just it got reset, and so maybe we're at the point where they could show it again. But
all right, Hellblade
there's a part of me
is.
that actually really feels I'm just like, is everything okay over there, Microsoft? What are you doing to your studios? Like,
what are you doing, Jesus?
Because I feel like they're having a hard time making things. Because you heard about the Redfall stuff.
I did.
The Arcane. Austin had a 70% turnover since Prey 2017.
Yep.
And they didn't want to release the game.
Right. They're like, please cancel it. Please cancel this game.
This game. We don't like it.
Oh my God. Well, especially if it's ZeniMax trying to get some games as a service shit out there so that they'll look more attractive to buyers. Like, you bought us. This is not good. Please cancel it.
Yeah, just get rid of it, please.
Wow. Shedding 70% of your staff. Wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's not layoffs. That's people leaving because they don't want to work on that game.
Yeah, pretty much. Ugh. Unhappy. You do not want to turn over like that when trying to make a game. But I mean, I do think like they have to have some good stuff, and they need this stuff to come from some of these bigger studios like it needs to be the Bethesdas, the Obsidians,
Yep.
like showing some really big things. Because if they don't, or they're making things that people are just like, ugh, or not showing well, then what did Microsoft spend all this money for?
And what are they trying to spend $69 billion more on?
Yeah, I think this is where the cycle repeats if this starts having a problem and they just start shedding their video game division again.
No, that's a really good point. This is I think every year is like, this is the year they're gonna do it. Like it's this year or never.
Kind of.
Really is.
And yeah, I mean the only thing they have right now announced for later this year is Starfield.
Yep.
Right?
Not as far as I know.
That's
Oh,
gotta land.
Forza is coming out this year too.
Sure.
But there's no date yet.
They should show something on that.
There
Hopefully.
should be a date on Forza.
Yeah.
They've got obviously that was supposed to be within the next 12 months. That didn't happen, obviously.
Yeah, that's the problem. That what was that the last time they did this and said in the next 12 months there's all these games.
That was last year. Yeah, exactly.
That hasn't gone so well.
No.
Oh well. Come on, Microsoft, do something.
Yeah, poking up the stick. Come on, do something.
New Vegas 2.
Boy, that would be something. That would be something. I doubt it.
Maybe. Well, Obsidian was doing Avowed. Maybe they canned Avowed and did that instead.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know though.
But, honestly, Obsidian did Grounded. They did, which is seemed good.
That's
they
good.
did Pentiment, which was good. They're capable of doing several things at once, even though they're smaller things. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
New Vegas 2 wouldn't be small. Avowed wouldn't be small. Those are... I don't know. They still say Avowed still technically in development. Yeah. Oh, and they're working on Outer Worlds 2 as well.
Oh, yeah. That could be something.
Yeah. I don't know, though.
Because they just put out Outer Wilds... Oh, God damn it, I just did it. Outer Worlds, like Definitive Edition or whatever. So they're... Yeah, I don't know if that's testing like the new engine or whatever, the upgraded engine for 2. But that was well received. And, a small, single player narrative game. So, I don't know. I would love to see, just like Microsoft after that showcase was like, here are all those games you just heard about that are coming to Xbox too. Like to see them pivot in a week and be like, here are a bunch of single player narrative games. You want those games? Here they are. But yeah, they actually have to have them, which is not likely. So
that's the hard part. Oh boy. But yeah, I think that's the coming week of all that.
Yeah, next week will be fun to kind of review a lot of this stuff that's coming up. So why don't we pivot to what we've been playing this week, or the last couple weeks? It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. Zelda. Definitely Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda. I played about 2 hours of Street Fighter 6 when I wasn't allowed to play Zelda, and then played more Zelda.
Street Fighter 6, on that note, it looks real pretty. I've watched some streams of it.
It's gorgeous. It plays really well. It's really good. It's really good. And it has a ton. I haven't really cracked into the tutorial stuff in terms of like how to learn your character, but apparently it's pretty robust.
Nice.
So yeah, I just was bouncing around different characters, and I'm playing with modern controls right now, which is fun. It helps you kind of get in the game, and you're more at decision making as opposed to like input level.
Sure. Yeah.
But it is limited because you have like light, medium, and strong attack, and it could be a kick, it could be a punch. Don't know.
Okay.
Versus like regular controls, like you have 3 of each, and you know which one.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, I really enjoyed it. There's the third option, which I didn't know about before launch, which is called dynamic, which is basically hold down a button, does a combo kind of thing.
Oh.
So I haven't done that. I haven't tried it out, but if I were like playing my wife, for some reason she wanted to play, which she never would, she could do that and be, makes people competitive. And if you are really good at it, you would still beat them. So
that's cool.
But it was fun. I played a lot of Cammy. Cammy and a new character that I can't remember her name right now, like Jury or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, just real fun. Different, really kind of bombastic characters. Really a unified like design aesthetic for this game. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it streams real well. It's just very neat to watch.
Yeah.
All the visual flair and
Mhm.
everything. But yeah, Zelda. I think you and I diverged a bit here
I
in
guess
the
we
past couple
did.
weeks.
Yeah. Second, we both did the Wind Temple, and then I went and did the Fire Temple, and you went and
Yep,
did the Zora area,
the
which
Water Temple.
yeah, which is I'm at the Zora area now, not to the Water Temple yet. But have you gone on to the Fire Temple yet?
I have not.
Interesting.
What I haven't played a huge amount actually in the past week.
Oh,
I
okay.
did that temple. Um, Work crushed me this past week, and I
Yeah.
didn't. I got done with work and was like, I'm not gonna do anything but sit here and like watch videos or read.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but I got there, and I've done just some more when I have played just general exploration around
Mm-hmm.
the map and
Mm-hmm.
just like doing the process of looking at the light routes that I found to
Oh,
which
yeah.
ones I don't have the shrines
Sure.
associated with them,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just filling out those a little bit.
My daughter was exploring today. We were in Zora, and then we, while we were doing Zora, I think at some point we went back to Robbie because I was like, "Oh, do you want to get our final power?" And she's like, "Yeah." So we talked to Robbie, and we did the quest to get auto build. Have you done that?
Yeah, I did do that.
Okay,
Have
cool.
auto build.
So that Master Koga thing was really cool.
Yeah.
And she really for some reason my daughter is obsessed with the Yiga clan right now. She's always obsessed with like the villains for some reason. I don't know why. I should be careful about that later in life. But it was awesome. I'm just trying to run you over this fucking tractor thing he built and just teaching how to use auto build and just like using those tools to like try to figure out how to fucking beat this guy. And then it's
Oh,
just
I just shot him with bomb arrows.
yeah, no, I did bomb arrows. I did. He would run at you and you just dodge out of the way, and then he runs into the wall and gets kind of dizzy. And then if you auto build,
I didn't even I didn't even have that happen.
oh really? Oh, that happened a lot to me.
I just hit with a bomb arrow like right through the where he on
Right.
him
Uh huh.
in his vehicle, and then he would just fall out of the vehicle,
Oh, that's
and then
interesting.
I went up. It was like butt up in the air, and I just would smack at him,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That.
then he'd get another vehicle that have a couple more things on it, but I could still just launch a bomb right through the viewport at
Yeah.
him.
When he got that second streamlined vehicle that went faster. But he would. Yeah. You just dodge out of the way. He hits the fucking outside and does the same thing. He falls out. And then the third way that we did it was auto built. Um, the thing that you've auto built at the beginning there, that the four Zonai wheels or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and you put that in his way, and then he hits that, and the same thing happens where he falls out. So there's
Okay.
three different ways to kind of knock him out. So we had a lot of fun with that. And then it's like you follow the statues to go to the next temple he's at or
Yep.
whatever. It's like okay, we'll do that at some point. But then my daughter just wanted to climb as close as she could to floating Hyrule Castle, even though we've only beat two temples. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen when you do this, but okay. She got as high as she could, and then there was like an overhang, and she couldn't climb over, so she fell off and fell and kept falling, and then she fell into Hyrule Chasm, which I didn't know existed, and it was pretty crazy down there.
Yes.
So the depths are just I think last time we talked I was like trying to avoid them and didn't really like them. Now I'm just like I kind of like the depths. They're really weird and interesting.
Yeah. It's huge. There's a lot of interesting stuff down there. I have gone into Hyrule Chasm mostly because I was like, this looks like a big pit. What's under here?
Yep.
I have explored the castle though,
Oh, cool. The,
pretty
the
well.
the floating part or
The,
the
yeah, the
oh,
floating
okay.
part.
Yeah, we have not.
Um, because I had a little quest to go up there,
Nice.
and get something.
Oh, cool.
So, and I was able to get it, which was cool.
There are so many little quests like the fucking hole that opens up in the emergency shelter that you go through and like keep breaking
Yep.
walls. Like that's so cool. It's just like I cannot believe how much this is so dense this game.
Yeah. No, there's pretty much feels like there's always something. And
Yeah.
it's the constant game of I'm gonna go do this, and then 2 hours later, like I didn't do the thing that I set out to do, but I've
Exactly.
done about a dozen other things.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that the
Um,
further afield you get, the towers are like more puzzly. You're like, you gotta solve this
yeah.
puzzle. Like, there's no one
Yep.
here. Oh, that bat is carrying the fucking terminal. Great. Okay.
Yep.
Um, and then Zora's Domain, we went to Sidon. We're trying to find like Toto Lake or whatever, and we couldn't find it. So we went back and talked to his fiance and got the armor quest. and then you needed like that old
The
fish or
fish.
whatever. Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, and then she's like, I smell it on you. I was like, oh, this is probably from an amiibo. I'm sure we got that fish from an amiibo. And she's like, here you go, the armor's fixed. Like, oh, that
So
was easy. That took
uh,
about 1 minute.
it's not the fish themselves because I didn't have one.
Hmm.
They're. Did you go up and talk to Sidon up top?
Much earlier, yeah. Hmm.
They're up there.
Oh, interesting.
They're not where he is, but there's like a big where Sidon is. If you keep following like the stone path up to like a
Hmm.
lookout platform, there's like a small little like built pond up there, and
Oh,
those fish are in that pond. I just
excellent.
came across them as
That's
I
cool.
was wandering, and I was like, oh, there they are. Um,
I'm certain mine came from my Mifa amiibo.
I'm sure it did.
Yep. I was like, well, that okay. I hope it wasn't a great quest because I just completed completed this part of it.
No, no, it's just you grab a fish
Yeah.
out of the specific place.
All right, that's cool. Well, it's cool to be able to go up waterfalls, like going up to the Sky Islands on a waterfall. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you go? I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do up to that one Sky Island that you go up the waterfall where you catch it halfway through the air and go up. Remember that? I'm
Which one?
explaining this poorly, but as kind of right near Zora's domain, or up near where Sidon is actually. You go like northwest and you basically use your paraglider and then use Tulin to get you right to it. You catch that waterfall midair and then start swimming up it. But then there's just the island's full of sludge, and we cleaned all the sludge off. But it's surrounded by like green floating rocks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I won't spoil the puzzle.
Oh, okay, cool. So I should go back up there and think harder then.
Yeah, the
Okay.
sludge isn't part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But I think you. Well, I don't know what
I didn't go
depends
up
on
there
the
for a quest. I didn't go up
quest.
there for a quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you found? You've talked to Sidon.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you needed to find that lake, right?
I found it. I found the historian, and I
Okay, you
put
found the
the
historian. What
slate
did
together.
he say? Okay, and the
He's. Oh, I'm at the point now where I need to find Dorfan.
there
So
you
I
go.
went and listened to the
Sure.
kids, and the kids said, "Oh, it's between Polymus Mountain and whatever." So I'm looking for a hidden entrance behind a waterfall.
Correct. There you go.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
So you're at that point.
Got it.
And I would say if you continue along the quest line, you'll be given the effectively the prompt of what you're supposed to do on that island
Got
up
it.
there, and you can.
Okay.
It's still not. Honestly, it took me a little bit to figure out because it is actually a neat little puzzle.
Cool.
But it's nice when you have the actual like one sentence hint about what you're supposed to do up there.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what? Because my daughter was like, just clean the sludge. That's probably it. So I cleaned it all. I was like, that wasn't it.
Nope.
Wow. I don't have any clue. I don't see anything up here that tells me what any hint here. Like, I used all my abilities. I didn't feel like any of them worked. I landed on a couple of the green things. Nothing happened. I was like, all right, well, we'll come back. I know I'll come back and something will happen. So that's where I am in Zora. That's as far as I am. I'm probably moving toward the water temple at some point.
Yeah.
So
Uh, yeah. I'm very curious about. I don't need spoilers. I don't need to talk about it. Did you like the Fire Temple? Because
loved it.
that's the next one I'm gonna hit.
I loved it. I loved it because I love it because it looks like you're supposed to do something, and maybe you can do that thing. I didn't. I did a bunch of other crazy, like just the dumb. If there were a menu of 10 ideas and just the dumbest one is the one that I did and it worked, and I felt like a genius. And then I was just like, what are other people doing here? So I looked up an IGN guide and I was like, this is nonsense what you guys chose to do here. This is so crazy. So I don't know. I wonder if you do it, if you do the thing that you think you're supposed to do, if that actually works, or if it really is not supposed to work and you're supposed to do something else.
Okay.
I really liked it. I liked it better than the Wind Temple, and I really like, and I still love the Wind Temple. Like, and if you think about the Wind Temple as like the whole ascent to get there as part of the temple, the Wind Temple is like is the best. But where you find the Fire Temple is really cool. And I think I mentioned earlier in Discord, but the idea of people who played previous Legend of Zelda games and like got to a temple and were just like, or a dungeon, like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do next. There's only one answer. There's only one way forward, and if I don't get that hint or that clue, or I don't know how to use that tool. I get stuck. Versus the design in Breath of the Wild and this one is just like, you can't get stuck. You can try 600 different things, and they might all work. It's a really cool design where like the designer of the game is not saying there's one way to do it. It's like there are 1,000 ways to do it. Just get through it. It's so cool.
Yeah. Weirdly, I don't know. Do they consider Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom immersive sims?
I mean, I don't know
the
if
genre
they do,
that's
but
Deus Ex, System Shocks. Those are Prey, the new Prey, similar. Where it's just like, we give you a lot of tools, figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they do,
because I kind of feel like that's kind of like they're open world kind of immersive sims. Just like, you have tools, use them.
I mean, the conversation I've been hearing about Tears of the Kingdom in the last 3 weeks or whatever, people keep mentioning immersive sim. So at least the critics are thinking that in that way. Yeah, I don't know if Nintendo is though, but and certainly Tears of the Kingdom much more than Breath of the Wild, just because of all the new abilities you have.
Oh yeah.
But still, the abilities in Breath of the Wild, you were able to gin up a bunch of fucking crazy nonsense.
Things.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just having a great time. Obviously I've talked about Skyward Sword a lot this year, and I put 40 hours into Skyward Sword, and it just felt like a grind the entire time. I looked at my play count on Tears of the Kingdom, it's like 60 or 55, and it felt like nothing. Felt like, wow, that wasn't any sort of grind. And there's a million things I haven't done yet.
Yeah, no, the game is huge and just a ton of content. I just always just see stuff on the map, and I'm like, I wonder what's there. And you go there, and there's something. And sometimes that something takes you hours off in one direction doing other things that you didn't plan on doing. Exactly.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you like the Water Temple?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought the ascent to it was pretty neat as well.
Cool.
I don't know if I liked as much as the Air Temple, but it had a similar kind of big traversal vibe to it to get to it. And
based on just the Fire Temple and Wind Temple, I feel like they probably all four have the same like journey to get there, and then when you get there, there are 5 MacGuffins.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I figured that after the second. I was like, okay, that's what happens.
Yep.
You get there, and then you have to solve 5 things around the area.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like that's going to be the standard design on these, and I do consider the traversal to get there part of the temple design. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just part of it. The whole thing is just considered that way. Which makes them pretty big, honestly. They take some time.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, it took me hours.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Water Temple. Generally, it had some neat puzzles overall. Like even on getting up there and stuff. Like there were some cool puzzles to solve. Trying to think of anything.
So if I'm at Dorephan, how close do you think I am to like the ascent to the Water Temple, basically?
You were very close.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You just have to solve a puzzle to start the process.
Oh God, I was fucking on the island.
It's kind of on the island. Like that's not. I would say that's where it starts.
Okay.
But you do have to solve the puzzle to unlock the ability to start the path.
Got it. Okay.
But
that's cool.
You need that. I think you need the clue because there's no way you're gonna do it. You have to go to Dorephan because you need something from him.
You need the King's Mark, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do that. You need that before you can do anything up there. And you have the armor. You have to have the armor, and you need to do that.
Yep. My daughter was having such a good time with me trying to figure out where do I fucking hide in this throne room so the kids don't see me.
Sure.
It was a lot of fun.
That one took a while. So I just kept poking around different places. Like, here? No. Damn it.
My daughter had me ascend through the roof, fly down the back, and I landed in a little pool in the back. And I just sat there and said, listen. I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's where I was.
So my daughter solved it for me. It's fun. Oh my God, we are having such a great time with this game, Anthony.
That's cool.
It's amazing. It's really, really amazing.
I'm not playing with my son or my daughter, but they are both playing now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like they just play on their own
Yeah.
during their game time. My son's done the Air Temple. He's in Zora right now, doing that, and he'll just talk to me about all the stuff he's doing.
Very cool. There's so much.
And my
to talk
daughter
about.
just got to the landing for the first time.
Oh, okay.
She got her paraglider,
Nice.
and she had like no help on any of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like she just did the whole thing all herself, and I was like, good job.
Very nice.
Like, yeah, which is pretty big for her. Not because of age wise,